Salam. Phoenix from the Dawn, L. Jackson, back in the light of Brazeera Cyber Network, and this is video 2. Okay, so we're going to pick up where we left off before I was interrupted. Okay, so when I think of love, I question what kind of love is this? Yeah. Where is the excitement derived from? I think of the quality. I think of the category of the excitement. I place a value on the integrity of the excitement. Thus, I weigh the cost of the excitement. I think of the enhanced external and internal pleasure in terms of thermal frequencies, electromagnetic waves, photonic souls as they become entangled. I think of the process by which love is transmitted, received, the data, and the numerous means by which love is processed. I think of the ebb and flow of the impact, the intensity of the love, soliciting the intensity of the love that is soliciting my electromagnetic waves. I think of the in, the out, the rise, and the fall through a series of intelligence sparked from emotions, biochemistry, and spiritual. Intelligence received from celestial intercourse with the universe. While man may have been given free will over his internal faculties, he has no power over the external world. Okay? Therefore, he must think about as I said, the motivation for the excitement. Okay? Okay. Now, so he has no power over the waves that he receives, okay? Other than interpreting them, okay? And accepting or rejecting. Okay. So he has no power over the external worlds filled with multiple dimensions of reality, okay? Because everybody's got a perspective. So it's filled with a multiple dimension of realities, of cosmic waves. And some creating vortexes, okay, of energy. Which is intense waves, right? Okay, greater waves, more dense. The greatest vortex, and as the greatest vortex of on the planet, of course, being the Kaaba. Okay, so your electromagnetic wave is your signal. It's your antenna. Okay, by which you intercourse with the universe, below and above the belt. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. So an antenna that continues to transmit and receive intelligence even as one is physically unconscious. It is called dreaming. This is reality from the perspective of the universe. The commercial entanglement, the commercial entanglement with the plutocratic economic caste system represses the natural inclination for man to actualize or to transcend the physical consciousness, or to surpass. To surpass is to transcend. So you got to transcend. You got to surpass those below the belt stimulations to transcend to the higher consciousness. You got to reject them. Okay. So that's actualizing. Okay. For it, so as I said, The caste system represses the natural inclination for man to actualize this level of spiritual potential and development of his inherent paranormal or psychic ability to transcend, as we said, the commercial paradigm, that he may intercourse, okay, with the universe, okay, then hit, okay, which is his inherent nature, or which is the inherent nature of all man, right? Okay. What it means to behold mind, body, and soul, all aspects of, man's physical life are aligned. His spiritual mind, his physical body, and his mental body. Okay. Yeah, his mind, body, his physical body, his mind, body, and his spiritual body all are aligned, as one, whereby his perspective of reality becomes unfragmented, and he or she has a universal rather than a tribal perspective of life. Impaired consciously when one is impaired consciously, it creates a challenge for many to comprehend the complete what did I say? Impaired consciously, it creates a challenge for many to transcend or comprehend the complete intentions affront their decisions, okay, beyond a market, placing a market value on why they do what they do, or commercial value on why they do what they do, okay, because one has to understand it from the mind, body, and soul perspective. And if you were to put it in universal times, then they'd have to understand it from the perspective of their fire body. Then they have to understand it from their emotional body. The fire body would be the soul. And that would be like, let's say, Aries. That would be like the first point of the cardinal signs. Then you would have the emotional body, and that would be like Cancer. Okay, that would be the water. Okay, then you got the air. That would be the respiratory system. Okay, breathing, meditating, praying. Okay, to de-stress. Then you got that physical body, and they all have to be aligned. Okay, we're gonna go more. Let's see how much time we got. Okay. Oh, and happy Sagittarian new moon. Okay. Okay. So now, because all aspects of mind, body, and soul in the commercial paradigm are infected by the aristocratic low frequency programming, the populations are dumbed down and made dependent and seek the aid, dependent enough to seek the aid of advanced medicine men, priests, and pastors, just to enable them to comprehend their natural the natural cardinal seasons in their life. As I said, fire of mind, water of emotion, spirit of the respiratory system, and their physical body of earth. Okay, how all that works and how it comes together, because we're fragmented. We're not together mentally. We're not born that way. Okay, we're just not. The mind isn't, or the child mind isn't able to comprehend those complex aspects of life, right? So we're born fragmented to put our emotions together, learn to control our emotion, learn to control our minds, okay, learning to control our body, okay, and what else? Learn to control our stress levels, okay, so we can breathe appropriately, right? Okay, so we can take in that good oxygen, that good air, like the good hair, right? Okay, so we see advanced doctors like psychologists, okay, and psychiatrists, to help us understand, okay? Well, those are good, in some instances, but, in most times we need to understand this, all aspects. All of them have to come together, and psychology just doesn't cover everything. Modern medicine doesn't cover everything, okay? Okay, so we have to bring all that into alignment. Okay, okay, we said that. Okay, so they have to, what is they using commercial? Okay, that's what happens in the commercial paradigm. Okay, they have not become whole or one with all aspects of their bodies, coming into perfect alignment with the earth, wind, fire, and water. They are unable to balance themselves, and live in harmony within self or their external world, which is the external world belongs to, Allah, God. We have the power we've been given free will to change our minds and to change our life within inside of our bodies. We can change, but we don't have a right to change the earth. That is a crime. All that environmental destruction that's going on around the earth is a crime. No industry has the right to own any aspect of the environment. So like I said, and to alter the environment of what's been going on, to play with the climate, to play with the weather, with chemtrails killing up the animals and for their tusks and their skins and their pelts and all that kind of stuff, that's wrong. And navigating the changing the orientation of the rivers and all that kind of stuff, overfishing the streams and poisoning the lakes, that's wrong. That's haram. That's a sin. It's a crime against humanity. It's a crime against the ecosystem. That's what it is. It's wrong. They don't have the right to do that. That is a crime. To destroy the earth. You don't have the right to destroy the earth because children are going to come after this. And as I posted before, it's going to take grandparents and parents. So it's going to take 2 generations working together to save the earth for the children. It's their inheritance. It's their right. If this planet is not rescued, I would say in the least 25 years, if you look at what's going on, the rate of what's going on, what are the children going to have? And then look at the moral ethics. We have to do something for our children. We have to work together. My children, for the sake of myself, and my children for the sake of their children. And you as a grandparent and a parent. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to take 2 generations, and I believe it was spoken of one in the Bible where it speaks of 2 generations are going to become together. They're going to unite. Well, that time is now. We have to unite. 2 generations coming together, parents and their children, for the sake of the next generation, which would be my grandchildren. Anyone from, let's say, old school, and the generation after it, this Aquarian age generation, we have to work together to do this right. And our children are not going to lead the way. It's up to us. We had the 60s. We inherited the movement of the 60s. We inherited that. That's our purpose, is to continue in that struggle. And we can achieve that goal in our time. But we have to work together, both generations, for the sake of this new generation, this infant generation that's coming up. There will not be a world for them. And we can't wait for them to grow up and think they're going to change it. Or, like I said, our children are going to change it. They're not. They need guidance, okay? And we have to be that guide. Okay, so we have to work together. We have to expand rise above the belt, you know? We have to get our mind, body, and soul together, okay, and act as one. In the commercial mind, man has become very complacent, dependent, and many times ignorant to his electromagnetic waves. He's become ignorant and egocentric because now he's, like I said, it's one thing to, to change oneself, but then to change the environment this dramatically, just to totally commercialize the earth. I mean, just totally commercialize it to the point where that its natural beauty is raped, disfigured is wrong. Okay, and then to sell it back to them. Okay, or try to sell it back to them. Okay. So so we said he's egocentric in his commercial existence, while becoming very alien to himself and his natural world. This makes it very challenging to purely intercourse with his pure divine nature as a disposed human. It makes it very difficult to recognize what is best for him. It makes it difficult for himself to recognize what's best for him. He's no longer his own best friend, eating the food that's best for him, reading what's best for him, doing what's best for him. He's become an enemy to himself. Okay, listening to the bad, that which influences him, that's not good for him, if he wants to ascend, right? To reach his maximum potential. Okay, so they're domesticated like lions, tigers, elephants. Man has become domesticated just like the bear, right? The bear market. It would be a cruel and unusual punishment to reintroduce man back into the habitat considered to be wild, which is his nature. Okay, a habitat without having any knowledge of how to even survive independently. Okay. And just like introducing any species to his natural habitat, it would be a fearful, frightening event, almost life-threatening, to do this to him. Okay? For him to go from a commercial mind, it would alter him. He would have a life-altering experience. Okay? From his commercial existence. Okay? Now, life below the belt would be the micro perspective. Life above the belt would be the macro experience or macro excitement. Okay? Macro stimulation versus micro stimulation. Okay? So to open that crown chakra and burn the heat of that oil, right? To get that net in the head, right? You need macro macro electromagnetic waves. Okay, the micro ones are just like sparks, right? Okay, so you got to stay focused. Okay, so you get the micro would be stimulation below the cardinal belt or the carnivore belt. Thus, at all times, mankind, like little children, must do exactly what they are told by the plutocrats if they choose to be protected from every fear, from their fears of themselves, of being themselves. or protect, as I said, as they choose to be protected and provided for, they must follow the false leaders, such as Simon Elliott says, because the commercial world remains a small Cassiotopian plutocratic medieval democratic dangerous world, unsafe world, full of tyrannies, full of ISIS, full of anything they report. It just brings about total collapse of the physical mind, brings to stagnation, right? So many times when I think of love, I think of on a macro level, not micro, below the belt perspective. I think of, as I said, the process of acceptance and illumination. The greater the illumination, the greater the excitement. And the greater the illumination, the greater stimulation to the crown chakra, right? Yeah, like that heartbeat. It just pulsates, okay? Back and forth, strengthening it to open, right? Breathing life into it, blood into it, stimulation into it, right? Okay. Now, so, as we said, the greater the illumination, the greater the excitement, the greater the love, the greater the stimulation, the greater the increased intensity or power or voltage to the crown chakra or the pineal gland. The hertz of the voltage is determined by the quality of the excitement. Below the belt excitement offers below belt stimulation and low quality voltage, okay, output, okay, carnivore or cardinal physical perception of a reality of the what we say. Okay, we said, okay, so it offers below the belt stimulation and low quality voltage output. The micro, let me make sure I got that right. Okay, yeah. In a from a carnivore physical perspective, reality of stimulated by the five senses, okay? Now, and that's why you want to look at your quality of excitement as to what aspect of is being excited, so you'll know which aspect to control, because what you really want to do is open that crown chakra so you can ascend, because that's when you ascend, going through the golden gates beyond the 33rd vertebrae, okay? And that's where it becomes toward the brainstem and into the brain to reach that crown chakra, okay? Above the heart chakra, right? And then above the what? The throat chakra, right? Into the crown chakra. And that's where the excitement is, okay? So love is so much more than a physical attraction. It is all that and more. I automatically think on the empirical micro level on which true love is made, how the brain serves as an electromagnetic chemical transmitter or biochemical transmitter, receiver, and data process or intelligence processor, okay, or intel, okay, data intel processor. Its function is to receive, decode, and transmit different forms of intel or intelligence, which is information, electromagnetically received, okay? Oh, and biochemically received, or radio waves, okay, received, okay, that are transmitted in waves, signals that are programmed intelligence internally and externally. So when the external waves meet the internal waves in your crown chakra, and you got to be there to get them, right? Because what in the heart it's emotion, right? It's controlling that water, right? You're in the water, right? And the water puts out the fire, right? So, when you get in the crown chakra, that oil heats up and it attracts the external waves, okay? And by the law of attraction, right? It attracts those external waves, like and like, right? And then they intercourse, right? They entangle. That's what intercourse is. Intercourse verbally, intercourse emotionally, intercourse biologically, but it's intercourse, is entanglement, right? And so the external waves connect with the internal waves, and then you have induction, right? Because now you have the vortex, now you have duality, right? Okay. Now increase increased brain capacity, activity, right? And capacity too, right? Okay, because you got to have somewhere to store that or to absorb that new energy, right? Okay, and that's what happens when the crown chakra opens up, right? All those neurons, right, open up, and then so they absorb all that new energy, right? Okay, so and that's what ascension, okay, because you ascended above all the other chakras. The chakras you've been through, as one would say, you've been through the fire, okay? The electromagnetic fire of emotions and temptation and all that stuff, right? Okay, biochemical waves, okay? Okay, now, so what did we say? Okay, so now it's internal waves received from the five. I'll go back to where we were. Okay, so you see those waves, they are transmitted waves, signals, programmed intelligence, internally or externally. Internal waves received from the five senses would be considered micro root chakra consciousness, or signals would be considered, okay, and that's what I said, the signal, okay, would be considered the antenna. That would be your frequency. Okay, a sharp frequency would be what? An antenna, distinguishable antenna. That would represent you. Okay, your consciousness, your energy that you're sending out, your signal that you're sending out, your vibrations that you're sending out. Okay, your frequency. Okay, so that would be the antenna, and it is receiving information externally from the external environment, and is transmitting from your biochemistry and what your thoughts are. Okay, that's intel. That's internally, and as it relates to the external. Okay, if one has a weak signal, a weak frequency from low frequency, right, or sparking energy, right, from low voltage output, right? Low voltage stimulation, okay? From the macro world, stimulation from below the belt, right? That will give a weak signal, low frequency. And when one is on a low frequency, they're going to attract low frequencies, right? Because what? The law of attraction, right? And also the spiritual law. A law of attraction is the same thing. Reap what you sow, right? Okay. So, okay, so they would have a weak frequency, and it wouldn't go very high, right? And if its frequencies is measured in spectrums, right? Okay, then some spectrums being on the color scale, okay, some spectrums being in the ultraviolet, right? Low ultraviolet waves, moving radio waves, can move slow, okay? Then they're going to attract that same type of, frequency. Okay, we said a weak signal would be a small antenna. Okay, so, and they will not receive a universal wave because they're not high enough, right? They're not high enough, right? Okay, so they will not receive universal waves transmitted on the higher frequency. They will not receive that higher stimulation, right? Because the frequency is the stimulation, the electromagnetic stimulation, right? Okay, that's the excitement. How much stimulation is going to be received? That's what is meant by measuring the voltage, measuring this excitement, measuring how high the electron's going to rise, okay, from its resting state, okay. And that would also be the cost, but we'll go there later. So we said that, so that will be a lower stimulation, okay. They will not receive transmission, higher transmission, or higher from the higher frequency or higher spectrum. Okay, certain frequencies, let's see. Okay, certain frequency what are physical, and certain frequency are emotional, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Certain frequency, okay, behave in a certain manner, such as, or no, they cause the individual to behave in a certain manner. Certain frequencies cause individuals to behave in a certain manner, whether it be as it relates to one physically, emotionally, or psychologically. They will cause one to behave in a certain manner or a certain ill manner, just as one can read the frequency or the aura around their body and determine the health of one's mind, body, and soul based upon the glow or the absence of glow. Okay, that would be as a display of one's frequency, but we won't, that's not what I'm going to say. Okay, well, yeah, it would be a display whereby one could be able to read one's health, one's, you know, yeah, exactly. Okay, now, according to a light spectrum, or the Merkaba, that would be the aura around one's body. A Merkaba is what one would consider like the Star of David, and within them, it's like a light around a light body. That would be like the fire body, okay? But it's a light body. That would be like the aura. But within that light contains a being, okay? The would be contained the soul, or the living being, okay? So the aura around the body would be like the Merkaba, okay? Okay. And what did we say? Yeah, so they could read the body the health of the person according to the light or the Merkaba that's around their body, the aura that's around their body. Okay, and that's also, okay, anyway. Okay, so now, like DNA, the aura or Merkaba around the body broadcasts everything about the status of one's mind, body, and soul, as was foretold among many spiritual circles. There are no secrets in the universe. One simply has to be literally light enough, as it relates to electromagnetic energy, to see or understand the secrets, right? Or to read the secrets, or to read the transmissions. Okay. Now, limited frequency, which is low frequency. Limited frequency means limited knowledge. Okay, because it is slower. The lower frequencies are slower. The higher frequencies are fast, right? So you can process things really, really rapidly because the energy is just flowing, right? Okay. So if one attracts whatever their signals send out, right? Reap what you sow. According to our social rather than inherent programming to love on a grander, higher scale. Okay. Okay. So I know where you're going. Okay. So now, according to social programming, we're not taught on about the higher love, right? To love on a grand scale. We are taught to love the one we are with, right? Now, if love being the greatest stimulator, okay, the greatest excitement, right? Then if you love on a grand scale, as the prophets have taught, love thy neighbor, love thy parents, love the stranger, and to do all these wonderful loving things, okay, then we can see how, and again, love being the greatest excitement, how all of that love, would it cause one to, and that's loving above the belt, right? So that would cause the greatest stimulation to that oil, right? Starting from the heart chakra, right? And then we speak the love from the throat chakra, right? Okay, so we're practicing what we preach, and now we heating up that oil because now we getting that greater stimulation, right? Okay. So, and just what? Being stimulated from the belt, just getting the sparks, right? And then they don't, once they're gone, that spark is gone, there's need for another charge, right? Another spark, another stimulation. Whereas if one gets that greater love, right? Then just thinking about the love that for all, right? The bigger love, the grander love, the higher love, just thinking about that reignites that, spark on the macro level, right? That life, that love above the belt, right? On the micro level, or macro level, right? Universal level, macro consciousness, right? Okay, for the all. Okay. Now, so, okay, as opposed to loving the one we are with, right? Love the all. A love on a grand scale, right? Produces what? The empirical love, right? Because now we're just, it's love for the all, right? I want to make sure I said that right. Ooh, I'm way over time. Assalamu alaikum.